YouTube, what's going on? I've missed you. I hope everybody's been blessed and staying protected. It's the start of a new month, and I wanted to get on here and make a video. Try and get back into my routine of talking to people on here and giving out some messages, things like that. I have a lot that's been going on for me in my personal life, a lot of things I've been having to battle and do battle with outside of the channel, and I've overcome them, and thankful to Hashem for protecting me and continuing to do that, and just wanting to stress the fact of not giving up, no matter what. I don't care what people throw at you. I don't care what people say about you. I don't care how many people there are. What they do doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter for you. Hold your faith strong, believe. Do not cower to these bullies, to these people that think they're going to intimidate you with their numbers, their strength, and their size and powers. Whatever they think they got, it's nothing compared to what you got. Remember that, all right? And just understanding that it's important to, hey, we know when we need to defend ourselves. We know when it's time to do battle, and also when it's time not to. And it's for me, I have been on the defense and having to defend myself for a long period of time, right? And I'm looking forward to a period of time now where I can be proactive and do the things that I want to do without constant harassment, like I've been getting for the past couple of years. And I want people to understand that if you stay diligent, you stay consistent, right, and do these things that I'm talking about, eventually the tides will turn. Yes, you have to make sure you're doing the right things, right? You got to stay on the right side of things. I have. Right? People will try and test you and pull you away from who you truly are, who you're truly, who you're trying to become, who you have become. If you've already accomplished changing yourself and changing your philosophy and your mindset, there's people out there that will absolutely try and make it look like that hasn't happened. Screw them, right? You prove through your actions that that's not the case, right? People will try and intimidate you out of your spot. Don't let them do it, right? People will try and showboat out here, whatever. Let them do whatever they want, You know who you are. That's the most important thing, right? As far as relationships and being a lone wolf, that's what I am, and it's just something that has become. And yes, I interact with people and I can have relationships and all that sort of things, and I cherish them, deeply. But there's something about walking alone that it's extremely challenging, but it's extremely liberating at the same time. Like, I know that I'm free, right? And people have tried to make me feel like I'm not and things like that, but I am, right? I choose to do what I want. I can go where I want to go. I can be who I want to be, just like everybody else. But it's the mindset. You got to break it. There's people in your life that are close to you, that love you, that want to keep you in a certain narrative or want to keep you in a certain mold. You can't let them do it. You got to break away from these things, right? You can't be brainwashed, right? You gotta be able to open up and see things differently. And that can be a challenge for a lot of people, and I get that. There's something about not having much to lose and not having much at all, especially materialistically, and always being in a situation where, most people right now in this country are in a situation where they're, 3 paychecks a month's pay away from being evicted if they lost their job, right? You know, so it's unfortunate, right? A lot of people are struggling right now, so on and so forth. That's besides the point. We can still make it. We still do it. We still, you know, we're still surviving, and some of us are thriving, and that's wonderful. But it's important to remember that no matter what, you're never broken. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. We don't want the worst to happen. And I've said this in previous videos, but if it did, our spirit would never break. It's always strong. It will never ever break. So that's the thing. And if he decides that's for some reason this is the life you're supposed to live, which it's not supposed to be, where it's continuously battling, continuous whatever it is, you find the peace and harmony in it, and you still cherish him and love him. So it's all about us too. It's so important to remember that. How are we going to view things? What are we going to do? Do you have to be strong? Do you have to fight? Do you really have to dig deep? Yes. Do you have to be consistent? Yes. Do you have to believe that things will change for you? Yes. Do you have to believe that justice will be served? Yes. Does it take sometimes forever, it feels like? Yeah. Yeah. And does it always come out the way that you envisioned it? Not always. Not always. Right? But you got to keep believing. Right? It's always going to balance itself out equally. It's not always going to balance itself out the way that we envision things to be balanced out based on our ego and how we see it through our ego. There's a difference. He understands the right balance, so he fixes it that way. So, you know, we all have choices and things like that, and we all make mistakes. We all do that. You know, do I lose my temper? Do I make mistakes and things like that? Yes. Am I constantly trying to work on them? Yes. Do I understand that also there has been some people, and I don't want to, you know, and this is the thing, like, people know what's been going on, and I do too. And it's like the people that try and push people to be in their shadow side, that's silly. I think that's a dangerous game to play with people. That's like instigating somebody you don't know. I don't know, but it's just silly to me, and it's dangerous, in my opinion, right? But at the end of the day, we got to learn how to control our emotions no matter what, and I'm guilty of not being the best lately, but it is what it is, and we got to just move on and, you know, make better decisions and better choices. And, you know, right now making this video, it's been a lot lately. Like I said, had a job loss previously that set me back, and I got another job, and the bottom line is, yeah, like, I'm very thankful. We have to remember to be grateful, and no matter where we are, and to understand that when you're in a situation and you're granted with an opportunity, you can't sit around and just be like, oh, I'll just take the better one, I'll take this. Sometimes you can't sit around and wait. You just got to go, right? Because it's so important. That little bit of time there could be that one little variable that absolutely screws you in the end, right? Because you didn't take some job, because you thought you were overqualified for it, because you've done this or you've done that in the past. Nobody gives a shit, right? Nobody cares. So go work in the kitchen. So go flip burgers. So go do whatever you got to do to get the money that you need to live. That's your mindset's got to be that way. And then once you get there and you're all right, you're back going, you're getting things done. Now you tweak your resume, you go back, you start looking for better opportunities, you start whatever you got to do. But at the end, and I love where I work, I love the people. I'm so blessed, right? Like that's so important to understand that, you know, and to look at these things like what would you be doing without that? Not much. Right, so you really got to look at things outside the box and understand the bigger picture here, right? And what type of battle and what type of war that you have been involved in, okay? And the ground that you have won, all right? It's so important to understand that, all right? So being humble and not being, I'm too good for this, I'm too good for that. That's ridiculous. So that's the wrong, giving up that type of thinking has gotten me out of a lot of situations, right, that were difficult for me. And it's just, it has to do with not caring what people think and letting go of your ego, and that part of us that just thinks you're better, that you shouldn't have to. I don't know. So that's not, let that go, and it will definitely serve you, get you out of situations that can be, not so desirable, because life catches you by surprise. That's just how it goes. So I'm happy that I'm able to do this on this new phone, because the last phone I wasn't able to have like a long video or talk like this just off the cuff and just express different things that I've been wanting to express lately, and how amazing God is, okay? And how, look, and I'm just going to segue into this gang stalking just a little bit, because I do have to discuss it. It can be unbelievable how he guides you, okay, through the play. You don't even have to do anything, okay? A lot of times, he will just put you in places where you need to be, so that if you're looking to uncover something, if you're looking and your goal and your prayers have been to help him guide you and help you see what's going on, what type of people are involved in doing things to you and things like that. And I know it sounds very weird, but this is the reality of my life for the past couple of years, right? It's not going to be the reality for many other people. There are some that it will be, but just for me, it's amazing how he's brought me to exactly the right places, the right locations, for me to see what I need to see to understand more about who was involved in doing different things to me, possible motives, and then possible different things that could have been done given the groups that were involved, right? So then it's, it gives you an opportunity to then use this beautiful brain that he gives to you to then further whatever you're looking to uncover, right? Pertaining to things that may have been happening to you. So I think that that's something to important. It's important to remember that, and the power that lies in prayer and following your intuition and just letting the angels guide you, right? And to help you see what's going on, okay? And we have to do, like I said, we have to really do our part, and we have to really, really put in a lot of energy. We really have to, push through whatever it is, right? For people that, don't have a vehicle or haven't had a vehicle for some period of time, like, I get it. I totally get it. There's, if you're in Charlotte, there's a lot of great ways to get around through the city, through public transportation. If you have a bike, or if you have a scooter, and things like that, like, you can do it, right? You have to be careful, but you can't be afraid to get out here and be able to go, and can't be afraid to apply to the jobs and things like that. Like, I will straight bluff a job, like, you don't even need, I got reliable transportation, because I know, like, I'll get here. I don't care if I got to bike 10 miles. I'll get there, right? So you got to get to that sort of level where, like, nothing stops you, right? And it's to remember whenever the doubts start to creep in, look for the signs. Look out there and pray and get back in touch, right? He's always there waiting for us. He's always wanting us to come and be with him, right? And it's easy to get distracted, and it's easy to get lost in the sauce. It's easy to get frustrated, right? If things aren't happening like we want them to happen, you're like, what? Okay, like, this is it. I've had enough, right? You do that, and you have to remember and learn, like, Never complain, right? Don't do it, right? Do not gripe. Do not bitch and moan. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it. Like Les Brown says, 80% of the people don't care. Other 20% are happy it's you and not them. So what, right? You can tell a story, sure. You could use your personal experiences to help motivate others, but don't complain, don't moan. That's not what I'm here to do, right? What I want to do is I want to inspire people. I want them to understand that through this power that we have within us, that He gave to us, we can accomplish anything. We can overcome any enemy. We can change any situation into a positive. It all is possible, right? These things really, we can do it, and that's what I want to stress to people. In the acts of attention, acts of kindness, it really is. I'm gonna give some examples of. Okay, so past couple of weeks since I've been off of YouTube, there's been so I'm riding the bus, and this I want to say I can't remember if it was a female. She didn't know where she was going. She was talking to the bus driver. The bus driver didn't know what stop she needed to get off of, and she was talking, and she was going to get off at the wrong stop. This girl was sitting on the bus, and she overheard it and spoke up and was like, "Hey, no, you need to get off at such and such, da da da." Or and it was late, so like at this time of the night on the buses, if you make too many mistakes at the end of the night like that, you're going to end up without any more buses running. It gets to a certain time. So then another person spoke up. And then another person spoke up. And like everybody started giving their insight and advice on how to get this lady safely to where she needed to go, or like the best efficient route for her to get there. And I just thought like, wow, that's amazing how that one girl over there could have stayed silent, right, and not spoke up and said anything, right? I didn't know the route where she was going. The other people on the bus knew the part of town she was going to better than I did. But if she wouldn't have spoke up, then this girl wouldn't have spoke up over here, and then the person in the back of the bus wouldn't have spoke up either. And then it turned into everybody on the bus wanting to help. So it's a perfect example, in my opinion, of like a small ripple effect of one person speaking up, then another person chiming in, and then another person chiming in. So it's that initial fear what stops us from speaking up if we know something about something that can help a person in a positive way, especially if they're in a situation that if they do not have the knowledge, it could possibly hurt them or cause them more of an annoyance, an inconvenience, maybe a major inconvenience. Whatever the case is, it's important to speak up. I think that was a really cool moment, and more often than not, I see those positive moments happening more and more. And I have been on public transportation. Yeah, there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of bad things happen, for sure, right? But there's also a lot of positive stuff that's happening out there as well, and I think that's important to note. So anyway, I thought that was cool. The other day I was walking on a sidewalk on the way to the bus stop, and the day before I really do believe in giving charity, and I'm not just trying to say that. Like, I just like to give to people, and it makes me feel good, and that's what we're supposed to do, period. So I'd given a lot the last couple of days, and the day I woke up, I really didn't have any more money to get on the bus and whatever, and I was like, oh, and this is before really the job got flowing for me, and I was like, I don't know, I don't really want to ask for a courtesy. I know they're tired of hearing me ask for courtesies on the bus, and I looked down, literally like, I'm asking, how am I going to eat today? How am I going to get on the bus? I swear, I look down and there's a $100 bill sitting right there at the corner. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I look, this gotta be fake money, whatever. I get down there, no, it's a real $100 bill. And then, I shit you not, a hawk, like my spirit animal, that's been well known to me now for a couple of years, swoops down and was hits me in the head, okay, and flies and swoops up into the pole. I was like, okay. So as soon as I started to be like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to provide it for immediately? And I'm not saying, and I don't, and there's something to be said about praying for monetary things, which is something I don't do. I never have done. I don't know. That's just not something that I do. I'm not praying for monetary things. I'm praying for other things. Right? Health, protection, wisdom for other people, yeah. I'm not doing that, but it's amazing how little things like that, signs like that, will happen, and they could be this miraculous timing behind it. Okay, you'd understand the timing and look at it, and a lot of people go, oh, it's luck, oh, it's this, it's that, but it's not. It's everything's coincidence. Everything's divinely designed, right? That happens. So I thought that was really, really, really cool. Obviously, that was like, oh, super, super awesome. Of course, I gave a little bit away, and I tried to do that, but I think it was a sign in a lot of ways to say, hey, look, keep giving, right? That's number one. You're doing the right thing. You're, you know, and when I give to people, it really is in a way like I'm not expecting anything back, you know, and people have given to me, right? In times where I've really needed it, and I'm so grateful. So that's how this whole thing has to work. For it to work, right? We have to do it that way. So slowly but surely, I'm trying to get myself in a position where I could give more and give back to people that have given to me, especially when I was in times where a lot of people, you know, when you're in situations where you're doubted and you have a lot of people that, you know, are not for you and things like that, you are so grateful for the people that do help you and do it unconditionally and with a good heart and things like that. It's amazing, and those people are always remembered and will be given back to when the opportunity is there, for sure. And just as far as you know, some things about the gang stalking and dealing with some people that are in power and things like that. Look, you have got to do your research, like I had said before. You have got to gather your evidence. You have got to document everything, okay? You've got to do that, all right? It got to a point for me, and it is at a point for me now, where I could be around so many enemies or people that I know that have been involved in following me around, and they don't know that I know, right? So it becomes this thing. You know you've won this game. A lot of these people don't know that I've won a while ago, right? And a lot of the people have dropped off. It's been in layers. It's been in different, you know, groups and this church or that, and right, and people have to be called out to a certain extent and confronted, some people, and it can be ugly at times, right? For some of these people, these gang stalkers, to understand, like, it's not a game. You get it. It's been understood. It's been something that you have been completely aware of, who they are, where most of them live, where they work, what companies they work for, their bosses, all this sort of stuff. Like, you've had plenty of time to do your intelligence. You've been terrorized and harassed for years by these people, right? So you understand it, but they don't get it, like, right? So it's like, okay, so what I'm saying is, just, you gotta have faith, and sometimes you gotta fight, sometimes you gotta, you know, let it be known, like, hey, look, I get it, I know what's going on, quit it, right? Can't be afraid of these people, and when you're trying to make positive changes in your community, in and in your life and things like that, people are going to try and stop you, right? He who chooses the right path, like there's always going to be the person, the people that always cast the evil eye. Somebody decides to choose to do the right things, right? That's what we want to do. We don't want to do the wrong things, right? We want to do the right things. We're not interested in what people think. We're not interested in being in groups. We're not interested in any of that stuff. We are our own people, okay? I am my own person, right? And I use my own brain to think. I'm not influenced by others. I never will be. And that's what we have to be. We have to be so strong in our resolve and our understanding of ourselves. Okay? And I fixed my bike. You know, I had fallen off my bike, riding it. Really, and it's amazing, like, you could fall off your bike and what are you're gonna look at it like, okay. Like, right where I fell off my bike is like right where a lot of these people and certain extended family, like there's just a lot you gotta pay attention to when things happen to you out here in the world, okay? And it's important to understand that there's always, something is always a sign, right? And to pay attention to everything, but I ended up getting my bike fixed. I was okay. I fell off of it, but yeah, it's a trip. You know, like that's what life is. It's just it's an adventure, and this is what we got to learn to understand. Like we got to love it, right? We really, really do. Like I love getting out here on my bike. Like now, I don't mind taking the buses, taking a train. Am I content? No. Am I looking to get a car? Yeah. Am I, all the time looking to excel? So now but all of that is going to happen, right? We can't rush everything, and that's part of the problem right now with some of the things that we're dealing with is people pay attention to social media too much right now, and we're this age, but we got to be here, and we got to be there, and that person's here, and that person's here. What it's doing is nobody's like, come on, everybody's on their own journey. Just focus on yours. It's okay. Age is really nothing but a number. Everybody, and that's it. And try and root for each other and try and build each other up instead of chopping each other down, trying to step on each other's necks, things like that. And I feel like we'd be in a much better place. But look, what I'm saying is this, and I talk on these videos, I'm not perfect. Like I'm not. But I'm trying to be the best version of myself I possibly can be, right? And for my situation, I know there have been some real jerk-offs that have been trying to not have that happen. And in my opinion, that's a stupid, stupid move, right? I don't care that you haven't known me. I don't care that you did it one time. I don't care about none of that. Like, I'm serious, you know what I mean? Like, let's not play stupid out here. Let's not be dumb. Right? Let's mind our own business, and everything be cool like that, Like that's really how it needs to go down. But at the end of the day, we're gonna never stop. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep going. This is what we love to do, right? We're constantly one battle done, next one on, whatever. Let's go. Let's get it. This is what we're born to do. Okay? We're here to change things. All right? I don't care about nobody. We're not looking at people's past. We're looking to see for the future. Right? What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do the rest of the day? Right? We're starting anew. We're starting fresh. And it can be done. You can change your career at any age. You can do whatever you want. Lift these boundaries and these limitations. The tides will change. The phone call will come. The letter will come. Whatever you're waiting on, whatever you're praying on, it will happen. But you got to stay focused. You got to stay diligent. You got to understand it's going to be hard. And there's going to be so many things that are going to try and come in the way to try and stop you, to try and make you think that you're not going to be able to do it, that you're not good enough, you don't deserve it, all this stuff. don't let it affect you. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Only absorb what's good for you. Only take in what's positive. Forget the negative. Discard it. That's what you have to do. If someone threatens you, threaten it back. Don't take anything off anybody. Right? Be a student, not a follower. Right? The wise words of Jim Rohn. But look, I want to get off the. I'm gonna end this video here, and I just want to say, like, there's been some real positive people, my soul tribe, and a lot of people that have helped motivate me, have helped me see the good in myself as well. And you have to do that for yourself, right? I love myself very much, right? And not in a conceited way. But I care about myself. I believe in keeping myself strong. I believe in keeping myself healthy. I believe in having stamina and being willing to endure whatever life throws at me, mentally or physically. Anything. Okay? It's important to get like that. But I think it was a great start. We're going to go into this month, fresh, with a fresh attitude, with a fresh look on it, right? We're going to be grateful for where we are, what we've had to overcome, things like that. And we're going to keep pushing. And we're going to get stronger every day. We're going to get better every day. All right? And we're going to have the right people come into our life. People that love us, people that care about us, people that actually want us to see us do well. Not people that want to see us do bad. People that will look at us and see us for who we truly are. The loving, kind, loyal, honest, strong individuals that we are. Right? So until the next video, know that I love all of you, and stay blessed and stay protected.